Show me what evidence. I want to know what evidence you had to get that warrant.
Despite claims of being overworked and underfinanced, the police always find time in their hectic schedules to provide backup for private companies chasing debt. The most notable is TV licensing, a division of the BBC which is contracted to a private outsourcing company known as Capita. Capita employ an army of clipboard-carrying Hitlers on commission to go knocking door to door, threatening prosecution if they aren't allowed to come inside and check your telly status. TVL have no powers to enter your home without a warrant. In the rare cases they do get a warrant, they mustn't enter by force. Instead, they get the police to tag along as muscle for hire to mislead the occupant into thinking they'll be arrested if they don't comply. And neither the BBC nor Capita pay a penny for this police protection.
Well, read.
On this visit, the cops don't waste any time showing favour to TVL and barge in the moment the doors opened, even though the police have no powers of entry or arrest for TV licence evasion. They are there, so they allege, to ensure that there isn't a breach of the peace, but they just can't resist getting actively involved and abusing their powers to help Capita agents bully people into confessing.
Listen, if you'd have let us in, we wouldn't have had any of this.
Why should I let you in? Isn't a man's house meant to be his castle?
What have you got to hide?
I've got nothing to hide. Then what's the Nazis said stuff like this. Why? What have you got to hide? Show us your papers.
Why are you reluctant to lend? The only reason I can think that you're reluctant to allow people in is because you're guilty of sin, mate. So
it's not.
Why don't you cooperate with the process, please? Obviously, eventually, it's going to potentially end up in court.
You only need a licence if you are watching it. You can watch catch up. Right, look it up.
So you're watching this now?
Watching off this hard drive there, look.
Once TVL are in your home, they will do everything they can to lie, trick or bully you into incriminating yourself.
All I'm saying to you is this coming through the computer, you said, yeah?
No, it's off a hard drive.
Right. Where is it? How did you get to the hard drive?
How did it get to the hard drive? Off a DVD.
Off a DVD. How did you get to the DVD?
Don't give me that bull. It was made in a TV studio. It wasn't broadcast by the BBC or any other entity.
Fine.
Can you not see what they're doing here?
No, I can see what you're trying to do.
A standard TVL tactic is to ask you to switch your TV onto a live broadcast you probably never watch, then prosecuting you for having done so.
Okay, put BBC One on for us, please, and I'll show you what I mean.
Put BBC One on?
Yeah, please.
I'd love to.
Via your hard drive.
No, I'm not going to switch it on because you're trying to trap me. See, it's entrapment. He wants me to put it on.
All he's trying to show is that you've got the facility to receive it.
Yes.
Once you have the facility to receive that's it. You need the license.
I've got knives in the kitchen, but I'm not going to stab anyone.
That doesn't work. They'll twist anything you say to make it sound like an admission.
The ability to. We don't have Virgin. We don't have a TV aerial plugged in. We're not streaming it live.
Well, maybe it's not this one, but you can't prove that you can't. You're not.
You can't prove that I have. So on an assumption that I've done something, you're going to say I'm guilty.
Mate. That'll do us, that's all we need.
What are you on about?
We just need your admissions, that'll do us. You've just said in front of the...
Have I watched it, though? Have I watched it?
I know, that's not for me to do.
Is that what you're saying? If it's got a receiver, I need a licence.
What you told us is you have the ability to receive it via your PC.
No.
Yes, you did.
Everybody does. Anybody can go onto the BBC website and get it.
What about you? Do you want to give us your name, please?
No, I don't. I refuse to give my name to people.
Well, an officer will ask you your name and you have to answer to him or her.
No.
Can you ask him his name, please?
All right. Are you going to come by? At the end of the day...
Forcing someone to answer questions is not a power contained with any warrant, nor is failure to give details an offence under the Communications Act. Any threats made by the police or TVL to compel you to speak would make that evidence inadmissible in court. But that doesn't stop the police from threatening to arrest these people if they don't waive their right to silence.
It's the issue we've got, right? If we don't get any names from yous, then potentially you're looking at getting locked up. And we don't want to do that. We want to be sorted. We want to be in and out.
I don't want to give them any information because if I do, I know they're going to lie through the back teeth. If you give me chance, right, give me chance to get a solicitor so I can talk to someone, right? Because this is out of order. I don't fully know what my rights are.
Anyone questioned under caution is entitled to speak to a lawyer. Not only do TVL ignore every request this man makes to invoke that right, the police even go so far as to talk him out of it.
Can I take your name, please? ask him his name, mate. We need to.
What's your name, mate?
Oh, wait.
I want a solicitor. I want to talk to somebody before I do anything else.
So basically, you just want to slow down the whole process and tie up loads of people, including.
I don't want to tie you. I don't want to tie yous up. Honest, you know I don't.
Process, you'll obviously have your
But
day in court. We
look
can't
at-
sort anything out today, can we?
You can't fight it in court unless we've got your details. Unless we find out who you are, you will get locked up and taken to the police station and you'll be interviewed down there. Right, because we don't know who you are.
What?
They're giving them my name, give them your name.
All right, Michael Oldfield.
Even when he does relent to this illegal threat of arrest and surrenders his name, the TVL agent insists it didn't happen.
We're not signing because it's false.
I'm not asking you to sign, mate. It wasn't yours. You wouldn't give us your name.
I did give you my name.
Where Capita agents find no evidence to prosecute, usually because none exists, they may attempt to further a malicious prosecution of obstruction under Section 366 of the Communications Act. No matter how cooperative you are when TVL execute their warrant, the agents will find any excuse to claim you obstructed them, simply as an alternative means of prosecution. I want to make it clear, though, that TV licensing warrants are extremely rare. According to data unearthed by a TV licensing blog, when the BBC accidentally released unredacted prosecution data into the public domain, only 167 warrants were granted in the whole of 1 year among a populace of over 65 million people. In general, the BBC will only seek a warrant if you make a public show of not paying your licence, or if you respond to their threat letters insisting you don't need a licence. All the more reason to chuck these threat letters in the bin and keep a closed door between you and TVL at all times.
Well, I hope you have a nice day, mate. I really do.
The vast majority of prosecutions brought by TVL are due to admissions made by people who talk to them on their doorstep.
Hello there. We're with colleagues from the TV broadcast people. They just need to check your properties to see if you've got a TV.
Yeah.
Because you haven't paid for TV
Yeah.
licence fee. So can you open the door for us, please?
Have you got a warrant?
We do have a warrant, yeah. If you come to the door, we'll show you the warrant.
No, you can show me it here.
Have a look now. What's this for?
TV licence.
We just need to check to see if you've got a TV. The law's very clear. If you have a TV, you
That's
have
not
to
law.
pay a TV licence.
Okay, this is a civil matter between the occupiers of this
But not
house.
paying your TV licence is a criminal offence.
No, it isn't.
Right away, it's clear this officer knows nothing about licensing laws. There's no offence of having a TV without a licence. It's watching live broadcasts on any TV or device when the licence is needed. Watching your own personal videos, DVD, CCTV, Netflix, pre-recorded programmes from a Skybox or playing video games does not require a TV licence. It's only when you switch your TV on to watch transmissions as they're being broadcast simultaneously from any TV station or internet platform where you require a licence.
Fact is, so how can you tell if it's not next door or over there or this house?
I can't answer for that one, sir. I'm just here purely and simply to serve a search warrant.
Okay.
So if you can open the door...
So if we don't let you in, what happens?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
If we don't let you in, what happens? What will happen?
We'll have to go away, possibly apply for a search warrant and maybe use other methods.
Go away and apply for a search warrant? What, on top of the search warrant you already have? What he means to say is just go away, because that's all TVL can do if you refuse them entry. Although TVL search warrants authorise reasonable force of entry, the BBC make it a policy never to use it, so as not to be exposed in the press for the bullies they really are. But Capita agents prey on the police's willingness to abuse their powers to part wood from wool. Just watch how this cop gradually backtracks from insisting the TVL and the police are colleagues.
We're with colleagues from the TV broadcast people. All we are here for
the
is
whole
for the
legal
warrant to be
system,
executed. So the sooner you let us in, the sooner we can go.
To misrepresenting his powers of entry, even though PACE provides no powers of entry to execute a third-party search warrant.
And
I'm empowered under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act.
That's an act.
That's an act, but it gives me powers to execute this warrant.
To finally relenting that the police are only there to prevent a breach of the peace.
all we are here is to prevent a breach of the peace and help these guys.
But you should be keeping the peace, so you shouldn't be helping them, you should be neutral.
What they are doing, they are allowed.
No, you're on his side because you're.
I'm not on anyone's side. I'm trying to explain to you what the warrant is.
Well, the way you're coming across, you're on his side.
Yeah,
I'm not on anybody's side. I'm not on anybody's
Calm down. Alright, you can see that if someone who didn't know their rights, we've been looking into our rights. Someone who didn't know their rights would be quite intimidated by you guys all turning up, knocking on doors, saying you must let them in.
Which is precisely what Capita and the police are hoping for. That you'll know even less about your rights than they do. And you'll be gullible enough to allow them access to your home. In desperation, the Capita agent resorts to trying to get the occupants to make the admission he's looking for.
What it is it's a
Do you watch a TV within the property for live
do we have to answer your question?
I'm just asking a person.
I know them.
Do you watch a TV within the property?
I'm not obliged to answer no questions that you put to me.
When that fails, he instructs the sergeant to make an arrest he has no powers to make.
Yeah.
The situation we have now is I can say that he's now obstructing.
Yeah.
And then you may have to go for an arrest.
Let me just double check.
Yeah, there you go. Obstructing what? What are we obstructing?
So rather than act upon the powers of entry in the warrant, Capita are hoping they can convince the police to force entry instead, thereby keeping the BBC's non-violent reputation intact. The question is, just why are the police so keen to assist a vast corporate empire such as Capita, who earned over £4 billion in profits last year? The chief executive alone earns £51,000 a week. That's over twice what your average PC earns in a year. Capita's TV licensing contract alone nets them £500 million every year. Could the police's keen interest in assisting this corporation have anything to do with Capita's lucrative contract to provide the police with an array of data, connectivity and communication systems?
It's going to make a good YouTube video.
It is. You're going to be YouTube stars. Yeah.
I'm on there already.
He's not wrong. This king of doorstepping vermin is a TVL area manager and was caught in an undercover sting by the Daily Mail in 2017, where he revealed how TVL agents are incentivised to prosecute members of the public, where he stated, "You'll get nearly all the information you need for a conviction statement in the first 40 seconds of conversation with a customer. You've got to take 28 conviction statements before you can start hitting extra money. The more you get, you earn more money. And, most honestly of all, we're greedy." Still, at least this was one visit he failed to earn his precious commission.
I'm going to announce a caution to the pair of you. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence. Do not mention when questioned something which you later rely on courts. Anything you do.